Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Rosewood Legacy Dead of Night. We're going to have a bit of a eventful episode today because we are starting here with Isadora as she has just learned the news of her friend Kira's passing. She is absolutely distraught, and Pandora has delivered the news to her. She and Kira were pretty close, so it is quite disappointing. And of course, Isadora is concerned about exactly what killed Kira. She's going to go cry in bed right now, which is very justified. One thing that Pandora and Elena did notice about Kira's death when she was found, her body was found upstairs. While we don't know exactly how she was killed or why she was killed, we can assume she was either killed there or dragged there. Either way, the killer would have had to have access to the staff door, which means, as a vampire, they'd already been allowed in and had passage to the upstairs area, because they cannot go into places like that without permission, because they cannot go through doors without permission. So the chances of the killer being vampire staff is much higher now. Fortunately for us, our neighbors are one of the only vampires who work at the Cabaret. There are other shifts, janitorial crews, and some extra vampires hired by Nathaniel to keep track of things behind the scenes. She's gonna bump to the music because it does make her feel better. She does enjoy a little boogie, and she needs something to do to get this off her mind. I'm wondering if we're going to need to meet those other staff members if we would like to figure out who is the one responsible for the attacks and killings. I think right now we might see if Elena wants to come over, because she did find Kira's body, which is traumatic enough. But she and Isadora were both quite close to her. That's really sad for them. But if Isadora doesn't want to be alone right now, that is the person to call. She's been making some drinks to cope. I don't think she's planning on drinking them, and Elena definitely isn't. So I'm going to be putting those in the fridge. Alright, she's here. We'll discuss her sad mood. We're not going to ask why because I think we know. They are just talking things over at this point. Both probably a bit quieter than normal. They probably sit in a little more awkward silence than they normally do. They don't really know how to handle this situation. Isadora hates that she can't help to think of everything that's going on with the vampires when she thinks about Kira. She wishes she could mourn like a normal person, but she can't help but think about what's going on with the vampires and how Kira's death is related. She kind of hates herself for it, but she knows obviously the connection is there and maybe it's something we should be thinking about. She's not bringing it up to Elena though because that's unnecessary right now. It's interesting that she has decided to give herself a pep talk in the mirror just like we were doing earlier. I think we're getting a little tired. We might say goodbye to her for the morning, not the night. It's actually 4 a.m. So we're going to try to get some sleep, but I doubt she's going to be able to before the day really starts. So I think bright and early we're probably going to ask Rio to come on over and we can continue looking at those tomes. We still want to help him. We still want to get through the books and see what we can figure out for the vampire cure. We are on the right track. If you remember last episode, the book did mention the cure and mention that it would be in a later part of the book. Felix wants us to be an offer. I am sure that is going to be a safer job than the one we have now. No thank you. But we probably should call our parents, actually. Do that before Rio gets here. Fortunately, I keep wanting to call him Theo today, which is really strange. Just Just think about what I said about that new haircut. It's your choice, of course, but still. What's wrong with her haircut? Rio, we will be inviting him over. I would hope. He's not sleeping, though. He really is not nocturnal. Looks like she wants to ask him to be her romantic partner, but, she's too sad for that. So we'll have some deep conversations, and I'll add him to my household so that we can be more productive when looking through the books. So we'll just have another research session begin. I mean, all there is to it is reading and reading and reading. It doesn't seem as if Rio knew Kira very well. He was very briefly acquainted with her, it looks like, but he did not know her as a friend, so he's doing somewhat alright, although he does actually have the whim to chat with her, which I'm wondering if that's before or after she died. Oh, he's crying. He doesn't have a moodlet about it, but I guess he is sad. Maybe he has empathy for everybody around him and for the fact that, she was a member of the Cabaret. He's pretty close with the Cabaret. We are absolutely going to hammer down on these tomes. I'll be letting you guys know what knowledge they find along the way, but other than that, they're just gonna grind, they're just gonna keep reading. Isadora read that really powerful vampires sometimes pass down their experience to Sims they turn. Isadora has read that vampires can be out during the day as long as they have a ceiling over their heads. We've kind of figured that out already, I think. And she just got another attractiveness alert for Rio. Rio has been honestly taking some breaks in between reading, but Isadora's really been cracking down on it. She's also learned that frogs are a good source for plasma packs. I don't know why we would kill frogs if we just have plasma fruit, but discovered new plants. Isadora has learned there are some special ingredients that are used in vampire-specific recipes. She can now purchase plasma fruit, wolfsbane, and a 6 mosquito trap seeds on the computer. That's interesting. I've never heard of the mosquito trap, and wolfsbane is something that we have not heard of before, so that's interesting. We'll figure out maybe what that is. Low-level vampires can be trained by higher-level ones. I think that we know that considering the way Nathaniel somewhat trained Pandora, Soren, maybe even the other two as well. But the other two probably took their training a little less seriously. I think I would like to read this volume until we finish it, and then there is a final volume, I believe. There is also an ultimate book. I was thinking the ultimate book is a combination of the three, but I'm not 100% sure if that's just like the name of the fourth book. They're definitely getting a little slower. They were turning the pages faster previously, and they were looking a little bit happier, although Rio has taken enough breaks to where he still looks happy, but not Isadora, and she's going to put it away again. Girl, these Sims will not just sit down and read. Oh, wait, reread? Okay, so we've already read it, so that's probably why she doesn't want to keep reading it, but she's discovered plasma fruit and plasma fruit recipes. Okay, she's reached level 10 of the skill, which means we should be able to get the next book. Yes, we can. That's great. Okay. And we'll read that until we have work in 2 hours. I'll get Rio one too. I kind of forgot about that. All the things that she has learned, he has also learned. Unfortunately, I can't get them to, read different parts, so it's not the most effective in that way, but there's nothing I can do. Okay, she has work. We're gonna work from home like we do literally every day. And we'll go quite soon to the Cabaret. You read that talented vampires can turn other Sims into vampires. A mortal Sim can even ask a vampire to turn them, provided they know the vampire well enough. I feel like it's just giving me a bunch of information we already know, because they gave us information on turning just earlier in the second book. But I suppose that's enough progress for today. My hope is we can reach level 15 by the end of tomorrow, and we can start collecting ingredients for the cure. Okay, we are here at the Cabaret. I'll be kicking out the bar guy. Although maybe we should be talking to him because he does work here, and as I said, other shift members could be a little sketchy. Oh, that's awkward. The beginning of the night is typically slow, but this feels way slower than normal. No, go away. A land rat is trying to steal my job? You do not need the money, my good sir. There's a bat here. He looks like a really normal guy, actually. Okay, Elena's here, and I know that because Isadora just got a attractiveness alert for her as well. Elena's over here, and she's using clay, which I'm not a huge fan of, but she is looking pretty upset, so I'll give her a pass. She is working at the bar when she hears a quite faint voice calling her name. It is Elena. She whispers, Isadora, can we talk for a minute? She's speaking quite quietly despite the loud music and surroundings, clearly trying to stay out of earshot from the others around them. Oh, I just heard that somebody peed again. I genuinely don't know what's going on with that. I think we're just gonna have to leave it. Isadora hasn't been on break yet today, so she's gonna slip away and take 5. We're gonna go over here to this hallway, which seems to be the place a lot of vampire secrets seem to be revealed. Elena starts. I'm going to ask Pandora for Kira's death reports. I'll say it's for closure since I found her. While that isn't untrue, I'm sick of waiting around for Nathaniel to get the culprit to attack you in order to get answers on what's doing this. I want to see what type of wounds and damage was done to her. Maybe it'll help. Different vampires do have different strengths, after all, so if we could pinpoint if they killed her using the special powers, like super strength or speed, that would narrow down our list of possible culprits. Not that we have a list, but she trails off, kind of unsure about her idea, but Isadora says that's a good idea. If you would, I would really like if you would look over them with me. I just can't do it on my own, and if I'm gonna be honest, I'm worried about you. All those who have died have been our coworkers, and you're the only human one left. Maybe it can prepare you. I don't want to lose you either. Isadora thinks for a moment, remembering the conversation she overheard between Soren and Pandora about the waitress who came before her. Her death was definitely related to Kira's. She tells Elena her death was definitely related to Kira's. So maybe we should get that report too. Do you think you can manage that? Elena smiles reassuredly. Yeah, I can do that. So we are done with our job. I know I said we were taking a 5-minute break, but it is 6 a.m. So I gotta say, it's a real boost in confidence to hear that you're very attracted to me. Okay, I don't know why that came up, but we'll be heading on home now. Well, now that we're home, we should take care of our needs, and then we're gonna get back to the reading. Just get something to eat, and I'm gonna save a nap for later. We're slightly tired, but this is important. Oh my gosh. Hi, I did not invite you inside, but you kind of read my mind, I guess. As Rio and Isadora read the tomes, after a while they probably have to hold a conversation to keep themselves occupied as they read the long and somewhat boring text. If they have to script through the entirety of the books, this will be a long day. And anytime they come across interesting information, they're going to discuss it like a book club. Isadora read that vampires have the ability to cast Dispel and dispel various mind powers. Well, we already knew that because we know that Nathaniel can mind control people and wipe their minds. So I guess these books are not as helpful as I thought they were going to be, but we don't know about the cure yet. That's something we know we don't know, and this book probably gonna have the answer to that, so I'm gonna keep having to hold on to hope. Sunlight Reversal Cocktail. Isadora has learned that it is possible for a vampire to reverse the effects of sunlight using a special drink. Huh, okay, so it's like a partial vampire cure that only really helps with the sun aspect, but that's interesting. Rio keeps wanting to stop doing things so he can clean up her house. Not that he actually did it, he just wanted an excuse to get up. I'm getting the vibe. Ever since the update, my trash cans are not working. I cannot do anything with them. I cannot put anything in them. I always end up having to destroy the item. Enough garlic spread around a house can prevent a vampire from biting Sims. I would say that we should get working on that so that we're safer from whatever is killing the waitresses. But that would also keep away all of our closest friends, so I like that Rio is literally always smiling when he's reading the books. Like, he does not like doing it, but he is very happy that they are becoming kind of close to his ultimate goal. She's discovered the Vampire Resistance Cocktail. Isadora has learned that there is a drink that helps Sims resist the effects of vampire powers. That is actually more useful than the garlic, because it will only affect vampires who are trying to hurt her. Why are you asleep? I mean, I get it, but get back out here. We have a lot depending on this. Oh my gosh, okay, we have unlocked the final vampire tome. So, yeah, okay. It's a little nerve-wracking. Of course, we need to get 2 for Rio. Well, 1 for Rio. Can't let him get greedy. He is thirsty. We do not have any plasma packs, but we can order one from the computer. Except he's locked out of the computer. Okay, I'll have Isadora buy one then. He is hungry, so we're gonna be getting him to drink these plasma packs. I don't know how filling they are, so we'll see. Yeah, not that filling. Okay, we're gonna need more. Because Isadora is sleeping, he's going and saying hi to Soren, and Soren's leaving, and now he's leaving too. What are you up to? Playing in the rain? Okay. Girl, okay, you have to get back inside. It is much too bright outside for you to be doing all that. Okay, Isadora's up, and I'm gonna have her the Ultimate Vampire Compendium. And they're doing it on the cozy bed now. Although I'm pretty sure Rio was actually just reading a romance book. Dude, it says here that making fun of a vampire's accent is the easiest way to be uninvited to their next party. I never really thought about it. Maybe they do have accents. Do you think that all vampires in Sen Maishuno have accents? Because I don't really think so. I'd say, like, the traditional vampires, but not the ones in Sen Maishuno. They are, like, their whole thing is fitting in, their whole thing is being, like, modern people and not vampires, so. I don't know how I got 3 of these. I definitely did not buy 3 of them. The old neighbor wants to hang out? Absolutely not. We are very busy. Isadora has gotten a grief type for Kira. Isadora feels as though it's best to project a sense of optimism even while carrying a heavy burden. She's doing well by holding it together, engaging in social interactions and activities with confident emotions. However, sad emotions can certainly work their way in and bubble over from time to time. Discover Drought of Reconfiguration, which is a drink that allows vampires to reset all their powers. Oh my, what is that noise? Discovered the ultimate vampire cure. Isadora has learned the ultimate vampire secret, how to cure vampirism. She can now make the ultimate vampire cure on the bar. Isadora continues to read the small section after the ingredients for the cure. Vampires are a scientific phenomenon, dead beings who seem to be sustaining as living anyway. Apart from their blood-sucking tendencies and weaknesses and lack of beating hearts, there are few large differences in their bodies versus the human body. The only large other separator is a vampire's complete infertility and lack of physical needs such as water, food, and the need to use the bathroom. If a vampire was to become human again, certain elements would be reversible, while others would continue to curse them for the rest of their mortal lives. Any trait that comes with the turning that every vampire experiences, such as the thirst for blood and sensitivity to sunlight, will go away with the vampirism. However, many vampires have mutations that have developed related to vampirism. These vampires with unique mutations will not be able to get rid of these mutations when they become human. The most common being fitful sleep, eternal sadness, and undead aura. There are some more rare mutations that are even more detrimental, being an inability to eat human food or an extreme light sensitivity. These traits become part of a vampire's being outside of their vampire identity. Therefore, these effects cannot be reversed, and will forever be a part of them, vampire or human. There is a little bit more to read, but Rio seems a little bit too eager to stop and celebrate their findings. So he closes the book for Isadora and shoos her along to the kitchen so that she can make herself a celebratory cocktail. There's nothing else for Isadora to learn about vampires. I'm not sure about that. Well, time is of the essence. So let's take a look at what we need to brew this cocktail. Whatever you want to call it. Okay. We need 25. We're gonna need majority of our simoleons, garlic, wolfsbane, and plasma fruit. Okay. Garlic is a very easy buy. It is not vampire exclusive. You can literally get it anywhere. So we will start with that. Alright, garlic seeds. I'll get 4. I have no clue how many come in a packet, so. Okay, so 2 garlics come in a pack, so I'm gonna have to buy another one. Alright, there we go. We have the 10 that we need. Now, the plasma fruit. It is a bit of a trickier one, but Soren does have a stash that he uses to make plasma packs for the group. So if we can sneak into his room and take it, we should be good. Hopefully he has at least 10. Wolfsbane is really the part of the cure that is rare and makes the cure a difficult feat. In the book, it mentions peculiarly that it can be found in Ambrosia Hollow. Strange, that name feels very familiar to Isadora, but Regardless, she can't leave San Myshuno. There has to be some way to get it here. We'll be meeting up with Elena later to go over Kier's death report that Pandora has so graciously decided to let Elena see. And maybe Elena knows something about that, considering her diet. We don't know what wolfsbane is, but it might be something vampires with withered stomachs can eat, right? It's worth a shot. So, it is like pretty late. I think we might have to even call into work because we're supposed to work in 2 hours, and I would like to have a good amount of time to just talk with Elena. I'm going to send Rio home. My guess is he's going to be the one who gets the plasma fruit from Soren. He is very kindly fixing our dishwasher, but after that I'm going to have him leave. Alright, we're probably good on our sleep, so let's get Elena on over here. I'll invite her to hang out. The good old-fashioned knock on the doors way. Alright, Elena seems to be following us into our home. So Elena has both Clay and the death report. The reports have been tied to the other report on the previous waitress that came before Isadora. The former waitress who died in a unusual condition. As they read the papers, they can honestly hardly believe what they see. The descriptions of the body of the previous waitress are... They have no idea how she would have gotten like that. Oh my god. Guess who just came into our house for no reason? That's hilarious. What are you doing here, my girl? That is so random. The former waitress were gruesome twists of their limbs, with blood oozing out of their ears, nose, and mouth, as mixed in with an unknown substance. Honestly, the writing of the death report seemed quite confused. It's as if whoever wrote it has no idea what that is about either. Isadora is a little bit worried, though. She can't help... Aw, look how cute. She can't help but think about what happened the last time she tried to leave San Myshuno, when she got the insane nose and ear bleed. If that was related to the previous waitress' death, that is not a good sign for her future. But she keeps it to herself. She doesn't worry Elena with it. Because Elena does seem to have some worries of her own. I hate that I'm the same type of monster that did this to her, Elena says, tears coming to her eyes. Isadora frowns, unsure how to respond. You are far from being a monster. We'll find the ones who did this, I promise. Elena says, all of my previous colleagues have been killed by this vampire. I can't help but feel like it's my fault. Isadora just looks at her in the most reassuring way she can think to and says, well, we'll just have to prove it's not, then. We're having a little bit of dinner here, so brief intermission for some thoughts. Elena hates being a vampire. Does she know about the cure? Would she want it? It would only hurt her to know, considering her withered stomach is apparently permanent, from the passage of the book that she read at the very end. Isadora is going to ask Elena out of curiosity if she wishes she could be human again. Neither of them have the best state of mind, but they are very happy to be around each other, so they're a bit more cheerful right now than they normally are in this state of grief. Elena lets out a long sigh. Of course I do. I never really wanted this in the first place. I mean, I was 16 when I was turned. How was I supposed to make that decision? I just kind of went along with what I was told it was best. I was alone. It's hard to wrap my head around how upset I am at myself over this, even though I do know that it's not my doing. It just really hurts Isadora's heart to hear that, because she can't imagine. Our final objective of today, we're going to be asking her if she knows anything about wolfsbane. She asks, have you ever heard of wolfsbane? Do you know what that is? Elena hasn't had wolfsbane because it turns out withered stomachs can't take them either. She doesn't know much about wolfsbane, and she's never had it because withered stomachs can't take anything other than plasma and plasma fruit. But she knows Nathaniel has ordered Soren to buy literally dozens of large crates of them before, for some reason. Another mystery surrounding Nathaniel, of course. And she knew that he got them from the black market. She writes down the name of the black market ring and wishes Isadora luck. She asks if Isadora needs any help with whatever she's doing with the wolfsbane, but Isadora says no, and she hesitates before nodding and leaving, letting Isadora keep whatever secret mission she's on to herself. She must really trust us. If I'm gonna be honest though, before we go, I think that after everything, now is a pretty damn good time to maybe have their first kiss. They have been pretty emotionally vulnerable in this session, and there's a show of trust, and it's been quite a bit. I mean, they have been really into each other for a while. It's probably going to be a bit of a small, sweet kiss, but it'll mean a lot. I mean, look how happy Isadora's looking. And Elena. Alright, now you can go home, my dear. It is 5 a.m., of course it is. We really do not know how to go to bed at a good time. But I'm gonna have her go to bed now because she needs a proper sleep session, and we can do that because she did some digging and was able to find the black market dealer. Oh, girl. Do some digging and send a message out to the alleged black market dealer that had the wolfsbane. If he could supply dozens and dozens of large crates of it to Nathaniel, he can probably get Isadora 10 if she offers a fair enough price. Which, to be fair, we really do not have that much money. Okay, she is up, she is dancing, and we're gonna go ahead and invite Rio over because very soon we are going to have all of the ingredients. He should come over here with some plasma fruit. And we will be shortly meeting up with the dealer. Who are you? Okay, she's daydreaming of Rio. Well, you're unlike you're inviting him over now, so. Soren's over here. You have no idea that the dude behind you just stole a bunch of your food. He will not be coming with us because he cannot go in the sun. I do not want to risk that. So he's gonna be chilling in their apartment, and we're gonna have to go alone, which is a little bit scary because this guy is probably gonna be shady. We don't really have a choice. Why are you crying, dude? Don't cry. We're so close to you getting, like, literally the only thing you want at this point. Like, become a romantic partner of Rio. Okay. What? Okay, that's fine by me. As I've said before, she is ambiamorous, so she's into all of them, and they're all fine with it. It's just, like, the way things are. Okay, but I guess we're dating officially with Rio now. We've been in our pajamas, like, for days, so we should probably change. All of our clothes are, like, a little too bright for, like, meeting up with a sketchy dealer, so I'll just try to put on our hot weather outfit, which I think this is, like, the first time we've been able to put it on because it's always been so cold here. But yeah, we're gonna end up meeting with this dealer over here. Was our chosen meeting spot? It is kind of out in the open, but the thing we're dealing isn't, like, illegal, you know? It's just kind of weird. Nobody really knows it exists. Oh, sorry, Elena. Not the time. Love you, though. When do we literally ever get to see her in the sunlight? Like, she's not even a vampire. We never get to see it. She's so stunning. Does she hates her outfit? Okay, no. You do not get to hate your outfit. You look cute. Okay, so we've got our dealer here. He kind of is giving vampire, but we are in the sun, so maybe not. Although, there are some vampires who have adapted to who have the power of not being affected by the sun, so who knows. But I don't know if we need to do a friendly introduction, because we're not really here for friendliness, but respectful maybe. So this exchange is going to be quick. He's going to give her a package, and she's going to give him hundreds of dollars. Things are going smoothly, but he makes a strange remark. He kind of sniffs in the air as if he's sniffing for something, and his eyes land on her again. You smell like it. I haven't smelled that for quite some time, he says, completely ignoring the fact that she does not know what that means. And with that, we have the wolfsbane and a weird guy, and we will be leaving, because that creeps her out. She doesn't know what he means by that. It's kind of weird. He's erratic. Okay. Well, maybe he just likes whatever perfume she has on. Who knows? Vampire senses are strong if he is a vampire. Okay, we are back home, and we have the wolfsbane. We have exactly the amount we need because we literally gave the rest of our money to him. But we are home and we are back with all of the ingredients.